In this video, I'm going to talk about a very special movie and what it taught me about education-based businesses and why I like them so much. So the movie I'm going to talk about is a Hungarian movie, and it's playing mostly in Budapest, so the scenes that you see is mainly in Budapest, Hungary, and so the time it represents is around the 1990s, from the very beginning to the very end, and it's about a guy who is living in Romania. He's a Romanian citizen, but he is ethnically Hungarian. If you would learn a little bit of history about Eastern Europe, after the World War II, like a big chunk of Hungary's territory was taken away and given to Romania as an agreement. The interesting part is that from one day to another, hundreds of thousands of Hungarians were basically in another country, like woke up in another country. Yeah, so the guy didn't have any Hungarian documents, but he was escaping Romania and coming to Hungary. It was a really rough time for him in the beginning because without any documents, you cannot really work or do anything legally. After a couple of months of struggles, he decided that he is going to take advantage of the chaotic times of the 90s in Hungary because the banks, the government bodies, the police were not as organized as today. Even in the post offices, the money was kept literally in the drawers. It was very easy to rob a post office, and that's what this guy actually did and made a lot of money. So when he finally got arrested, and the police was questioning him and the investigator was questioning him, they were asking, like, where are all those money? Like, where are the cars, where are the houses, where are all the things that you could have bought from all that money? And so he said that he basically traveled away. He spent for fun, pleasure, as you were able to see in a couple of scenes in the trailer. He basically just went to like expensive restaurants, spent on ladies and, these kind of things. It's very interesting because this is something that no one can take away from you. Like the experiences you have, the lessons you learned, like they cannot take it out of your brain and take it away from you. If he would have purchased a couple of homes, a couple of cars, and something tangible, which is on land, then the police who owns that land, or the government who owns that land, can take it away from you with a piece of paper and it's gone. So applying this knowledge to business in general, it's a very, very good approach to spend a majority of the time investing in yourself. Like whatever cash me, him, or you have, it's the best place of that cash is always knowledge, to be smarter, to be mentally more capable and resilient, and physically more resilient. So going to the gym, training, learning about nutrition, things like that, because this is something your body, your mind, and your knowledge never can be taken away. Yeah, obviously, if you pass away, nothing really matters because your brain is not functioning anymore, so you lose that asset, but you would lose that asset anyway. But there is really no other option in the world to lose your knowledge other than passing away, right? Let's say your home gets taken away from you. Like in Hungary and the Eastern European communist countries, it happened in the past that the private properties were taken away by the state. And, for a couple of years, it was not yours. Like, if the government decides that you can live in your house or you can use that land for whatever reason, for so-called business purposes, then it's fine, but you really don't have any decision over it. And so people in these times generally left the country, and whoever had some knowledge or were really high in academic, like having a physics degree or something like that, it was always be usable in other countries. Like a lot of scientists were also like moving out from Hungary in times of war and going to other countries, and then in those countries obviously that knowledge was really useful, and so they were able to survive, right? But let's get back to the modern times. I really believe that as long as you can reinvest in yourself, the best thing is to do that. And after you really have so much surplus cash from your activity, whatever you are doing, so let's say you are learning how to do online marketing, or you are learning how to do video editing, or whatever else. I mean, you can be a mechanic or a mechanical engineer or a doctor or whatever. It's way harder to learn that way because those things really still cannot be learned outside of university, right? So I really don't want to, lay down on the table and the doctor comes in and where did you learn? I learned from YouTube. That's really obviously not the way to go as a doctor. But a lot of skills can be learned online or paid courses to speed up the process. You just buy the knowledge and yeah, you are off to the races, 2 or 3, 4, 5 months. A lot of new professions in the world can be learned in that time frame. Then you can start working. You can generate cash actively. And once you have so much surplus cash, of course, you can buy houses, and then the homes would work for you in terms of rent. You could buy stocks, you could buy crypto, or you could buy any other assets that works for you. But it always starts with knowledge. And that's the most important, because the home or your crypto or your stocks can always be taken away from you, or in a bad market situation, you really cannot use them. And so the knowledge can never be taken away. You can always turn back to that activity and generate new cash like whenever you need. So what does it teach us in the modern world? I believe from two perspectives. One is from, let's say, an educator or a creator perspective, and the other one is the student perspective. So as a student of the world or student of life, it's as I said, always good to like accumulate more knowledge and more capabilities to apply them in the world. But as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm also approaching it in an education business perspective. If I have a knowledge, let's say I can know how to edit videos, or I know SEO or a special part of the online marketing landscape, then if I acquire that knowledge and I apply to clients and then they work, I can basically, based on that experience, I can open up an education-based business where I can teach other people how to do the same thing, right? First of all, it's very noble if you want to teach, because you give knowledge to other people and then they can apply that wherever they are in the world, especially if the knowledge can be executed online. If you are a really good software engineer and you know how to code or build online infrastructures, or if you are good at online sales and marketing, it's really, really useful skills. So first of all, it's really noble. And second of all, this type of business can operate separately from whatever you are doing next to it. So generally, if you like edit videos, you obviously have like freelancing or agency clients, or you actually execute. That's one part of the business, which is kind of like an agency business. And then separately, if you teach something, then all of a sudden you open up an education business with the same skill, but it's very, very different. It has much higher profit margins because you can automate most of the processes, the traffic channels. You can buy basically attention by code. You can build web pages. You can build the membership sites. And maybe you need to employ a couple of people, but you can do like 70, 80, even 90% of profit margins from an education business. So because of these two reasons, I think it's really, really smart to do a education business, like whatever you are doing. So for example, if you are a creator that is not monetizing their audience, or if you have a sort of an agency activity or a freelancing activity, but you would switch over to an education type of business, I would highly recommend you to do that if you would enjoy to teach other people. Personally, my knowledge is that I help online content creators to build their sales, marketing, and operations backend infrastructure. It's generally most useful for those that already have an audience, already have a skill, but really don't know how to properly monetize their skill and their audience. And also, even if they're monetizing it, then generally the backend infrastructure is not that stable and not that optimized. So these are the two parts that I am helping creators with. So if this is something that I could help you with, let me know. Otherwise, see you in the next video.